we finna see how well he knows the lyrics for War.
Let's go. Oh, he put me on the spot with it. Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Wrap it into the mic. Let's go.
Fuck losing the better. I'm going to war. This my people opening doors. Just
Get the door.
Ain't no
Thank the Lord. What?
Niggas ain't saying no shit no more. I've been in the ones they was born. I thought I'm up dead, but I'm in boredom.
Let's go.
Who want more with the God? I made the atheists pay for this. I'm thinking through the side.
Yeah.
They might just give me some hate for this.
What?
But I'm seeing through it all. Cause I'm the side. But people like, what would they sell?
People the trauma. Look out for their mamas.
Tap down for the white man's, but he's
anything for the commas. They say anything in the comments. Your magazine can't trump me. I got a
double XL complex. Back to the bill, niggas same
shit. Cause they ain't changed ever since. Mama stealing the film, said he banging that I'm banging this. That's the shit that I don't miss, but I'm with the shit. Try to help them see. They didn't want more. Stay true to who I be. They push me overboard. So y'all try to tell me
what you ain't done before. But I prefer peace. But I will go to war.
Okay.
I'm not proud of these niggas. I do not proud with these niggas.
I'd rather walk out and ride with these niggas. Mike crash out and slide with these niggas. Hold it.
Būnduke ain't you. I'm getting concerned. What do we learn? Fuck all that.
Switch and tech, they lit that bitch.
Let them all burn.
Hey.
Popping my shit.
Backbone friend. Popping my shit. My safe there. He got hitters out there. Juba City, we the biggest out there. Heard what I told him? I'm at the top of that total. Niggas think that I owe them. Cracked out like Odom.
Hop off my scrotum. Ho.
That's the red that Florida. That nigga they know us. Ride that flow like no one. Walking the bit like soldiers. I'm from the water like
Yak.
Do my county?
Zach.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I be no question you know I'm from.
Know where I'm at.
Try to help them see. They didn't want more. Stay true to who I be. They push me overboard. Don't try to tell me what you ain't done before. See, I prefer peace,
but I will go to war.
Hey, that's cold. I had to put you on the spot real quick. That was tough. That was tough, bro. That was tough. Whew. Good energy, yes, man.
Sir. Yes,
You the first person that I came across that like, you know, just in person wise, like that knows the lyrics, like for real, like that. Like to me, bro, as an artist, bro, it's like for somebody to take the time to memorize your lyrics as a creative, it's monumental.
Right.
Cause I'm like, dang, these things that I wrote from my experience, somebody else knows and they relate to it through their experience.
Exactly, because I felt the song. Like I literally started like listening to the words. I said, yo, like I really feel that. Don't play with me, bro.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? Don't play with me, bro.
Facts.
They take your kindness for weakness if you allow it. And a lot of times you just can't allow it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that's
you
what
gotta remind people sometimes, man. You really do.
You do, and I feel like this was a good song to let niggas know, like, hey, bro, come on, man.
Facts.
I'll go there, for real, bruh. You the guy, bro. You really that guy, man. I appreciate you, dog. Yeah. For y'all who might not know my brother Ty, man, super dope, multidisciplinary. He got some tracks on the low too, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna talk too much about that. But he got little tracks on the low. But dog, like behind the camera, creative vision, like execution, like consistency.
Love, bro. Love.
Yo, my man's is on it. You know, you really been on it, bro. And I respect the grind. I respect the hustle, bro.
Thank you, bro.
You know, I've worked with a lot of people who say they do this, say they do that. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's work. You know, the famous 2 words. Let's work. I hate you. But then, you know, it doesn't come to any fruition. We literally met the day we met. We're like, boom. The following week, we immediately met up.
Yeah.
And then the following week after that, we met up again. And then we just stayed consistent, drop content, you know. So I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate it.
It kind of goes back to the same concept of that phrase, word is bond. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you say you're going to do something and you really mean it, stand on your word, bro.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get some talent out here, though.
Yeah,
like, for real. You
facts,
gotta get
bro.
some talent.
And there's so much talent out there, bro. Like, and I don't want to just have just rappers either, bro. Like, bro, you could be a damn comedian, bro. If you funny as hell, come up here and give us some jokes, bro. I be trying to laugh. If you a singer, a spoken word artist, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be just rappers. Or if you go up here, you got a real message, you know what I'm saying? You want to give to the people. I feel like that's gonna really make it much more powerful as opposed to just your average performance platform. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know what I would actually love to see too? You rapping, but then there's also somebody doing poetry right on the side of you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or even having like an artist do a painting.
So I love that artist doing a painting.
That'd be super dope.
When I shout out my boy Reggie Miller, bro. Like, not the Who, not the
That's exactly what I was thinking of, for real, yeah.
Right. My boy Reggie, man. So he actually when I first moved to the A, like he was the first person that I like teamed up with when it came to like curating events. And we would do open mics, and we would do like poetry showcases and things like that. And like he would always be like, "Yo, we got to get a live painter or live artist in the building." I gotta hit my boy back up, man. He out in Texas now.
Check this out. Have you ever been to Peter Street Station?
Yeah, I've been to Peter Street Station.
I was gonna say it's literally right around the corner.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe over there. I love it. Just the aesthetics too.
Yes.
I want to shoot like a. Like the type of stuff we be shooting, shoot a high quality like performance there, especially like with a live band.
Hell yeah.
It's killer, bro.
Hell yeah.
It's killer. Just the bookcases, the little nook and cranny, bro. It looks so good.
It just be smoked out in there though.
It be smoked out. Everybody in there smokes. Even if you don't smoke, you walk in there,
get contact.
You now.
You gonna get contact.
Yeah.
Facts.
You smoke now. It's just crazy, bro. But it is a great venue. And then they got a tattoo shop upstairs.
That's what I heard.
Bro. I went up there the other not too long ago with boy Ferg. He was out there hosting a comedy night.
Okay. Well.
And went up, took a look at the space upstairs. Pretty cool, man. That's what I love about Atlanta, bro. Like Atlanta got a whole lot of like spaces that you might not know about, And
I got another question. Oh yeah, I got you. My bad.
Nah, you good.
So Far Sounds. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, So Far Sounds. Fuck it. Yeah. So I did So Far Sounds in 2019.
Okay.
I did a So Far Sounds show.
Yeah.
And so I did that show, and I got a little buzz off of that show because I killed it. And then so I had a LA rep reach out to me. Was like, "Yo, I want you to do So Far Sounds LA." Had a New York rep reach out to me. And I was like, "Oh, snap, I could low-key do a So Far Sounds tour.
Right.
All right. Then the pandemic hit in 2020. And when the pandemic hit, it was like, it got things just, the entire music industry, performance industry shut down because, can't have people in the venues. And so once all of that, finished out and kind of calmed down, but by then I had got used to like, yo, I'm going to put together my own events and my own shows and curate my thing, right? Because like I did a So Far show, they pay you a flat rate of $100. You know what I'm saying? They charge, the tickets to attend the event is anywhere from $25 to $35.
Oh yeah, they make money.
They're making bread. You know what I'm saying? And to pay an artist $100 out of that, I'm like, bro.
I guess
like,
for them, it's like more the exposure piece on their platform.
Right. Now, for in that case, then it would be great if they put me on in a particular venue or a space wherever we're doing, and it's like high quality and they're actually taping it and things like that. Then that adds the value to it. But if it's just a backyard show or the last show I went to that I actually just attended because my homegirl was performing, they did it like in a lobby of like an apartment complex lobby. It was a nice lobby, you know, and there's a bunch of people out there too. So it was fire, you know. So it's definitely dope because they also have a crowd. They have people that actually music lovers that buy tickets and want to discover. So for an artist like me, it's definitely high value. It's like you got people that want to discover music. But I started reaching out to them, but I've been reaching out to them last year. Because I just wanted to get back in the circuit and start doing shows and like, bro, crickets, bro. Like, I'm like, and I went to an actual event and like, I'm trying to tap in and speak to the coordinators that were actually there at the event. Like I bought a ticket, I'm like, yo, I'm talking to them, showing them everything I got going on. They're like, wow, that's amazing. Definitely. Here's my phone number, hit me up. Hit them up. Oh yeah, let's hit crickets. You know what I'm saying? You know how it go. So that kind of like left a little sour taste in my mouth, but at the end of the day, you know, that's why I was like, bro, I'm finna do my own shows, do my own events. I ain't gotta wait for nobody, you know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest thing for me. And like, I get sick and tired of waiting for people who are not really trying to make something happen. That's why when I find people that's trying to make something happen, I be like, bruh, yes, you know. But yeah, I love the whole So Far Sounds mission, bro. Like, what they do with the music and putting artists on is amazing.
Right.
You ever went to one or what?
Yeah, that's the reason why I told you about it. I actually, when I first came to Atlanta, that's when I discovered Peter Street Station. Then I discovered So Far Sounds because I'm a music lover.
Yeah.
I really love music for real. Especially like neo soul, R&B, of course hip hop. Not so much the new school. I don't know, like I don't really listen to Cardi and stuff like that because I'm just like, bro, like that's not music to me. You hear them ad-libs, bro? They crazy.
Yeah, I would say that's not music to me. You'd be like, you know, it's not music
it's not my
for
style,
me. It ain't for me. You know,
right. That part.
It's a bunch of people that's like, he got a crazy cult following. You know
facts.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and like,
they'll go
everything
crazy.
is a niche.
Look, if this were to go viral right now, yo, they'll eat me up.
Yo,
in the
yeah,
comments, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they would have your head. They would have your head. They'd be like, yo, what you say about Cardi? What you say about Cardi, bro?
Man.
Yeah. But now, it's definitely a bunch of artists out there that's like, they take it, they push the sound to a whole different like lane, whole different realm, you know, which is, you know, all dope in its own right.
Who would you say right now like is some new talent like on the rise aside from yourself, who hasn't really fully been discovered, but he's starting to blow, and you're like, ooh, that man is fire. You know what I'm saying? He next up.
Nah, that's real. Trying to think of like some undiscovered talent that's just coming up that's crazy. I mean, honestly, like anytime somebody asks me that question, my mind immediately goes to like a lot of the artists off of Rhythm and Flow, because a lot of folks on there is dope, and a lot of people that is hella dope got eliminated early on too. You know what I'm saying? So it's some folks out there that really be. Like, I got a song coming out with my boy Tony the Kid. That boy can spit, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I fuck with my boy Tony the Kid, cool dude. Bro. I'm trying to think outside of the scope of Rhythm and Flow right now, real quick. But like, if I would just run down the list real quick, bro, like people that I rock with. Cody Ray, Quinn J, I mean everybody from the top like 14, top 7, like they, you know, they all make good music, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, that's kind of like speaks for itself. But as far as like artists out here on the scene, bro, like my boy Skits Pitts. You know what I'm saying? Bro's actually tough. You know, I don't know if you had a chance to check his music, but bro's tough. My bro Biz, he tough. Dang, bro, I know I'm leaving. I'm leaving out some people, but hey, shout out my boy David and Duval, bro. Shout out my boy Enoch the Prophet from Duval, bro. He down in South Florida right now,
Yes,
doing this
sir.
thing,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Bro, it's a lot. It's a lot of people, bro. Shout out to my boy DZ Brazy, bro. Up in, I think he out in Minnesota. DZ Brazy, he be going crazy too.
I'm trying to figure out like what is there to do in Minnesota, probably besides like Craig. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? Like,
yo,
it's one of those places.
hey, Minneapolis. I don't know. Don't they got a basketball team out there?
I mean, yeah, but that's just to go to see, go see the tent, like T-Wolves
Right.
play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's kind of like Virginia in a way, because I hear Virginia is like mad slow unless you go into the tri-state areas like DC,
Right.
that type stuff.
Bro, after being in Atlanta, bro, I can't be in no slow environment no
Same.
more, bro.
Same.
Like whenever I go back
Same.
home, I'll be like, yo, what
Because
is
you know what it is too? It's like, I think it's harder to find people with the same type of mentality. You really gonna be on your own
Yeah.
trying to create.
facts?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, now you're trying to figure it out. Now you like, and it gets frustrating because it's 1 a.m. right now and we shooting. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are people really trying to do that? You know, like I'll be trying to
Agreed.
do it.
Agreed.
You know, it's tough to find people that's like ready and willing and want to push the agenda that much more. And
I mean,
not
like
afraid.
for me, and this is the thing what I realized with a lot of people. A lot of people have dope ideas and they want to actually like pursue their goals and their dreams, but they don't have that push factor.
Yeah.
They don't have that person to put them on the spot in the moment. So like everyone in my circle, I'm like, yo, what you doing right now? All right, let's go. Let's do it right now.
Right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right now. Like, and they be like, what?
Yeah.
Well, right now. Yes, right now. Like we out. You know what I'm saying? It gotta
And
be
some
like
people
that.
be like,
It gotta
that,
be
that
like that.
scares some
Yeah.
people, but some people like, oh yes, I've been waiting for this.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's necessary because even though you fear it, right, until you get that ball rolling, it's like, okay, it becomes, now you got motion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because now you're actually putting one step in front of the other versus it just being up here now.
Yeah.
And now you see it come to fruition. You're like, okay, I could do this. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's true, bro. No, I love that because the faster you go from that ideation to the execution, the more likely you are to be successful. Because like sometimes we'll come up with an idea, we'll wait, we'll sit around, and then that idea is so good, and then we end up seeing somebody doing that idea. We're like, dang, I should have been did this. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, God'll give you an idea. Gotta take it and get to the next person if you bullshitting.
I can't tell you the amount of ideas that I was like, all right, I think that's the next thing. I think that's the next move. And boom, somebody starts it. Somebody does it and it takes off. And I'm like, why didn't I do that?
Yeah.
No, for real. Like, why didn't I do that? Bro, like the amount of times I could say, yo, I probably could have been rich if I had just executed.
Yeah.
I could have been rich by now, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel the same way. It's
100%.
like, cause there's certain stuff that I'm like, dang, bro, dang. Sometimes I look
get
back,
in
I'm
your
like,
own way,
damn,
bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta get out of our own way. Like, that's what I'm kind of like trying to relish in the moment of every time I'm creating, every time I'm tired and I'm pushing through. I'm like, yo, man, it's although I'm tired, although might not feel like doing this, like, yo, let's just do it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was like when you told me you were still in the parking lot, I was so happy, bro. I was so happy. I was like, yo, my boy's still there, bro. I'm pulling up. Don't worry, I gotta go grab the mics. I'm pulling up. Yo, bro, because I was like, dang, Skits just bailed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, damn.
Everything happens for a reason. We was having a great conversation in the parking lot too. It wasn't even really just like us kicking it. It was just, it'd be like that. You know what I mean?
But yeah, man, what y'all was talking about though? Like, what do you feel like? Cause y'all literally came from church.
Yeah.
Went to College Park. Where the church at?
Okay, so the church is like, it's now in Greenbrier.
Oh, okay,
Right.
okay. So it's down that way anyway.
Yeah. After we left there, we came over on this side. We was actually trying to find, we was just trying to find like a place to shoot that. Went to go get food, because I was hungry, of course. You gotta get
Bro,
right.
yesterday,
Gotta get right.
yesterday, like, cause like you said, I'll be here in 15 minutes, right?
Right.
So, 15 minutes, I was like, okay, and then we was like, okay, me and Skis was like, oh, he needed to get something out the whip. I was like, you know what,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
So we went out there to the whip, and I was like, look at the time, like, he should be here. Let me give him a call. And then as soon as I hit call, right, I look at Skis, I was like, knowing him, he probably went to go get some food.
But yeah, we was actually just talking about like temptation, man. We was really just talking about how a lot of these women, they just play a lot of games, man. Like they really don't know exactly what they want, and they finessing dudes out here.
Nah.
Like really and truly, like finessing dudes. Like she was just really giving us like the 411. She's like, women care more about the bag than they actually do care about a relationship or love. You know what I mean?
I feel like, yeah, because there's women in certain sectors, right? There's certain sectors of women that I've encountered.
For sure.
One sector of women, they actually, and it also depends on where you interact with some of these women too, because like the girls that you come across at a club or at a lounge is completely different than the girls that you come across at an open
100%.
mic, you know, or at a networking business mixer and stuff like that. But also, even with what's going on in like mainstream and media and stuff like that, there's such an emphasis, like, you know, it's something you hear it in the music, of course, but there's such an emphasis on like, oh, find a man that got money, finesse him out of his money or whatever, you know, and then boom, and leave him, find the next one or whatever. So that convoluted message is there too, but like I feel like it is a process. It's, you know, it's a process of weeding out the bunch, you know what I'm saying? You got some folks, some girls that's on point, some girls is like, and then you know what I realized too? Some women just need a man that's solid, that's gonna be like
put them in place.
yeah, and like not even in a bad way, you know, like because I feel like somebody gonna hear put them in place and they're like, what? Put me in place?
Yeah.
Not
like put
like,
me in check.
yeah, like,
that,
but even women know when they're in a relationship, like they know they need to be put in check sometimes. You know, everybody knows they need to be put in check sometimes, because sometimes, like even us as men, we might be bullshitting ourselves sometimes, like getting in our own way, like we were talking about earlier, right?
For sure.
But sometimes we don't realize that we're getting in our own way in the moment sometimes, and you need a woman that's gonna be able to hold you down and like
Hold you
and
accountable
let you
to
know,
it.
yeah, exactly, hold
Yeah.
you accountable and be like, you know, so it's like having that sparring partner and having that person that's really going to be able to reciprocate, which is, I feel like between me and you, our relationship, like we're so big on that word, you know. But you need a woman that be able to reciprocate. You need a woman that's gonna be able to hold you down and kind of like help you see from the outside looking in, because we can only see from the inside looking out. I don't know, bro. Like,
I think it just takes a certain level of one experience. Like I feel like men have to have experience, like going through and learning different types of women. Oh, is he here? Is he here?
No, I'm finna put the camera back up.
All right, cool. But yeah, I think a lot of men have to go through that experience of really like kind of filtering out what's considered a good woman to them, because essentially I think everybody has a type, and that's based off of their own personal experience, right? Even for prime example for women, let's say her first boyfriend was actually like toxic. He was a player type. She was into that, right? And so all she knew was toxic love. like the games, the mind games, him maybe having like side chicks on the side, but then he's still talking about, oh, I love you. You know what I'm saying? And so it now grows into her going into other relationships because now that one failed, where she has this perspective that all men are the same. And it's not the case, right? And if you're not moving that kind of way, then she's already pre-assuming that, right? And so she's coming from a place of like hurt, not realizing that she has some trauma. You know what I'm saying? And now she's projecting that on every single man, not realizing that, sweetheart, you need to take an internal look before you project.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
And vice versa too.
I was just about to say.
And vice versa too. I'm not just gonna put it on them
Right,
too.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
That's real.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, but that's the part that
Right.
you know, of course you lead with that because that's what we're able to see from that.
Right.
You know, we don't have relationships with other men.
Facts.
It's the women that we got the experience with.
Facts.
But like, that's real though, because it's so hard for people to be able to like either work through something or let go of something that happened in the past or let go of another situation. I thank God that I don't know what God bestowed within me that like when I've gotten to a point where I feel like I've developed a mindset to where I can treat a lot of situations equally without the prior prejudice, you know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is like, you know, like somebody might go through something, they got that trauma, now they're taking the trauma to the next situation, to the next situation, to the next situation. Like me, I don't necessarily take the trauma to the next situation, and I'm glad I kind of evolved to that point. But you still got to be wary. You know, you still got to use that to add to your toolkit. But you ain't got to always bring out every single tool.
Right.
That's kind of how I look at it. But like, people don't really know how to manage the tools they have. You know what I'm saying? And even with emotions, like emotional reactions, you know, like that's you pulling out a tool that might not be necessary for the situation. It's like you might need just a shovel. You don't need a crane. You don't need the bulldozer right now. You might just need a spoon.
Yeah.
You know.
Take it bit by bit. Yeah, that's true. Another thing too, because I feel like the space that I'm in right now is like, you know, after my previous relationship, I say this all the time. I got no regrets. You know?
Right.
I think that was a beautiful relationship. Taught me a lot about myself. However, I think moving forward is just like more friendship, like really learning somebody, growing with somebody, and building with somebody on a level of like how can we potentially like make each other great.
Right.
You know what I mean? Versus just like lust and, you know, just thinking about a fantasy.
Right.
More so than reality.
Nah, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
And nah, that's real because me and my girl, that's kind of like how we started. We just was like friends and like I said, like we was going to open mics, you know what I'm saying? Like making sure we got content for each other. Like,
See?
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we trying to elevate, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you know about another open mic? Oh, okay, I'll pull up. Oh, I know about this one, pull up over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that. And so to me, I feel like that's like a major stepping stone prior to getting into the relationship.
100%.
And you build that bond, that just genuine bond. It's not about, like you said, you know, ain't no lust in there, ain't no, you know what I'm saying? You might got some feelings on the low, you know.
Facts.
But you like, all right, it ain't
like
time for that right now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got other stuff to prioritize. So I feel that 100%, bro, because I feel like that's what keeps us strong to this day, no matter what. Because it's like we're friends.
Yeah.
We're freaking best friends. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it doesn't, like, even we could be mad about whatever. but we still gonna kick it and just laugh about something. Like all it takes is like one little look and a smile, and it's like
yeah.
like, what are we doing? What are we
Yeah,
doing? You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like, and I cherish that so much, and I feel like what you said is so important that a lot of people miss the mark on is developing that genuine bond before trying to engage in a relationship, because like people just move with lustful eyes, like, oh, I want to hit that or I want that, you know what I'm saying? Like
I think
on
it's
both
that.
sides.
I think it's that. Plus, it's also pressure. Especially
Passion,
no pressure.
pressure.
Depending on also cultures. Like for example, my background is like Jamaican,
Right.
And so it's Jamaican, Bahamian, and British. It's a whole bunch of mix.
Right.
But long story short, right, in Caribbean culture, more or less, it's like once you hit a certain peak or age, it's like, why don't you got a woman? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you got a girl? This,
Right.
that,
Why you not married? Or why you not got no
Right,
kids?
right.
Where your house at?
Exactly. So
all
if you're
that.
not secure within yourself and you know exactly where you're trying to go, you might allow that pressure to kind of like force something.
Start to pressure.
Right?
Yeah, that pressure starts to weigh down a
Yep.
lot, and it makes you start acting a little different.
Right.
It makes you like, because you'll see that with certain people, like they start moving a little bit more desperate. Like, man, I'm trying to get me a girl. Or, man, girls like, oh, I need me a man. It's like, cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like, cool. I ain't mad. You know what I'm saying? But like, figure yourself out, get your stuff together, and mentally, spiritually, whatever, financially, if you know what I'm saying. I know it's hard out here these days, but you know what I'm saying. I ain't no crazy like. But if you can come across somebody like that's just down to earth, that was the main thing for me. Like, and that's why like certain other relationships that were like heading into certain other relationships that were heading into romantic relationships never really turned out to be long term, because like I just felt like we just didn't see eye to eye, or like it just certain stuff weren't aligning, where I didn't feel like somebody might have been doing like. And it's also probably also my own bias and judgment. I'm gonna be honest, because like if you see somebody and you're like, man, you need to be chasing your dreams, you need to be doing something more.
Right,
like, you feel that way, and then you might try to push them to that level, and then it's like, may or may not work out. So that's one thing. Some people are cool with just living the slow life and day to day.
Yeah. And I honestly don't think anything's wrong with that.
Right.
I think truly people are built different.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we have different classes of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are people that are super ambitious that want to actually not limit themselves, right? And put themselves in a box. And then there's some people that are just cool with the mundane. Like, I just want wife, house.
I want a simple life.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I got my 9 to 5. I clock in, clock out, get my benefits, and boom, I do that for 40 years and then retire.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So people are very chill with that, and I mean, and I'll commend them, because for me, bro, when I came out of college, right, and I started working, bro, probably like 2, maybe 3 months in. I was like, yo, what is this, bro? I wake up every day. I'm here for 8, 9, 10 hours. I sit in traffic on the way back home, sleepy, bro, damn near about to pass out in the middle of traffic and wreck. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dog, this is crazy. And I called my mom, and I was like, I don't know how you did this for all these years. My respect level for my parents went up so much after, I was just like, dang, y'all been doing this for years on end, non-stop.
Yeah.
I'm 2, 3 months in already, like, bro. And I worked in college, you know what I'm saying? I had 3 jobs at one time in college, so it was like, I knew what it was like to work, but it was a different type of work. It's different in college.
Yeah.
Because everything got to be part-time.
Right.
Compared to
right,
when you
right.
just full-time, just what you do every day. And I was just like,
And
That's
then-
when I realized like I was built different.
And then there's also another thing too, is like you see people who've been in it for like years, right? They've been in the field for like 15, 20 years.
Right.
And every single day they come to work, they're just miserable. And that energy kind of rubs off,
It
right?
do.
They're not excited, they're not enthusiastic to come to work every
And
single day.
they got something to complain about.
Right.
And it becomes a complaint party.
And ain't nobody got time for that, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody got time for that.
Bruh, you get around some people and it's like they trying to one up each other on complaints.
Facts.
They're like, dang, well, dang, this happened. Like, dang, that's crazy. Let me tell you about what happened to me. And this, and I was just like, I be watching. I'm like, yo, what? I'm trying. Yo, I just dropped a new song. Like, y'all trying to listen to it? Like, what's up, bro? So I was working at the bank, right? I flipped the switch, bro. Like, I was like, bro, there's so many people that come in through here. I'm giving everybody my music business card so they could go check me out, bro. So I'm handing somebody, get a withdrawal cash, and I hand them the cash and I hand them my business card with it. There was this dude that worked at the post office, young black dude. He used to come in there all the time. He come to the bank all the time, and he used to always come to my line. And I gave him my business card one day.
Yeah.
I told him I do music. He was like, you make music? He's like, all right, I'll check you out. I'm like, cool. Tall, African, dark-skinned dude in a suit at the mall. You do music, bro? Like, you make, all right, I'll check you out. Bro came back the next day, like, bro was like, he had a sad look on his face, right? He's walking up to me, and he was like, bro, I listen to your music. What are you doing here? He looked at me dead in my face and said, what are you doing here? You don't need to be working here, bro. You need to be making music, touring. Like, bro, when I tell you that crushed me, bro, like in like a constructive way. Like, it was like somebody like believes in you more than you believe in yourself type of situation. And and it kind of wakes you up like, nah, for real, like, dang, what am I doing here? And like that thought never went away, bro.
Yeah.
To this day, bro. I wish I remember bro's name, bro. I wish I remember bro's name. But hey, man, if you watching this, bro, you used to come to the SunTrust Bank at Marietta Square, bro, off of Whitlock Ave, bro. It was probably about 2017, 2018, bro. 2017, I probably was. But, bro, if you're watching this, bro, appreciate you. Yeah. That jump was crazy, bro. And it just ignited me. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing about it is, like, what I realized too, some people just have that vision. They have that gift. They can see you and also see me, right? But the thing is, we have to also be able to see ourselves.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Because it's like somebody can speak life in you and say, yo, you could be X, Y, and Z. Don't you see it? But if you don't wake up and realize it yourself, then you just gonna stay. You're gonna be like, yeah, maybe, yeah. And then so much time passes by. But again, you gotta wake up and see it for you.
That's a fact.
If you're gonna change your life, step into your purpose, people.
Facts.
Step into your purpose. For real.
No, for real, bro. I think that, and you know what's crazy? It's like purpose has become so nuanced these days, and just the amount of people that say it and talk about, go after your purpose. I was actually listening to a video the other day. Bro was talking about, it was an Alex Hormozy video. He was like, don't go after your purpose. He was like, I'm gonna give you 8 reasons why you shouldn't go after passion. It wasn't purpose. There's a difference between those two words, major difference.
For sure.
But this is passion. It's like, why you shouldn't just go after your passion, because a lot of times your passion is not gonna get you to a point to where you're making enough money to make it work for you. And a lot of times when you go after your passion and you turn it into, and you try to make it generate the income to sustain you, then you're literally turning your passion into a job because you're self-employing yourself
I've
on your
heard that
passion.
before.
Yeah,
I've
but
heard
if you love to do it, it don't feel
like a
it
job.
don't feel like a job, you know. So it was very nuanced conversation, of course, but like to me, when I was listening to it, I kind of whenever I listen to stuff, I love listening to stuff that is like not my views too. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, yo, what's the other side like? You know, what are people
Yeah,
thinking
another
on the
person's
other side?
perspective.
You know,
Yeah.
because then I can be like, oh, you know what? That little piece right there that you just said, I think I agree with that. You know, I might not agree with a whole bunch of other stuff over here, but like there might be certain pieces or certain things that I can see and resonate with.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree to disagree when it comes down to passion sometimes, right? I feel like your passion can also transform and change also over the course of time, right? Like, let's say, for example, you wanted to be a dancer like when you were younger, but then that transforms and it
like, it makes you into a creative director, and now you
what's so crazy is, right? The start of my story actually started off with me making beats. Yeah, bro. Like I used to do valet back in like South Florida, and like one of my boys.
That's a big
shout out to Adam L. Hinch, man. That's my dude, bro. That's my dude.
Adam was handing my boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were at a country club actually.
Word.
And I had my laptop and I was on GarageBand and I was just cooking up a beat. It was like my first time doing it too. Did it? And he was like, yo. He's like, yo, I think this is it. And I said, wait, what? He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I think this is it. It came out dope too. I'm gonna let you hear it. And then after that, I kept it going. And then one of my boys, Chris, man, like he got me into photography, actually more so film. I got into photography on some like marketing stuff because I had like a little business back in the day where I was like buying and selling Amazon Fire Sticks.
Oh,
right?
word,
and I was jailbreaking them joints.
Oh yeah,
You
so
feel me?
people could go crazy with it. That adds that value to it.
Because I was working at Target at the time and I was in the mobile department. So all the scammers was coming through. So I saw like what these dudes was basically doing, right? And I said, okay, boom. They would get like a new iPhone and they'll ask me like, yo, how many you got in stock? How many you got in stock? You got like 2, 3, da-da-da. Let me get this one with the highest gigabyte, right? And so it would come with a gift card. Sometimes they gave me the gift cards. So when they gave me the gift cards, I'd use that and I'll buy the whole rack of like Amazon Fire Sticks. Go home, jailbreak them, post them, put them up, flip them, bro. It was a nice little side business.
Nice.
Yeah. But eventually I bought a camera, right? Bought a camera because I wanted high quality photos of my products.
Okay.
And then shortly afterwards, my boy, that's when he really exposed me to like travel filmmaking. So that's what kind of sparked it for me because I love travel, right? So when I see these dudes like riding on 4-wheelers, jumping out of airplanes, going to all these like different resorts and like scuba diving and doing all this wild stuff, I said, yo, this is amazing, right? And it inspired me to like really want to create like content.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's really where it sparked off. And then after that, obviously, started doing client work. Oh, hey, you shoot videos. Hey, you do this. Hey, you do that.
Right, how it always started building up.
Right.
That's dope.
And again, I always loved music, right? And so that's how I started shooting music videos shortly after. And then I would work these jobs.
What year was that?
This was 2016, 2017,
Wow.
right? So that was like the start of my journey. And after that, I was like, yeah, I want to do this full time. Like, I just want to, this is it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I felt like called to do it. I was like, wow, this is really, really, really dope because people started entrusting me with my vision. And I realized the first time I started getting paid for it, I was like, yeah, this is it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, this is it.
Yeah, feeling that feeling that pain. Like,
Yes.
wait, who? I just made money doing what I like.
Yeah. Because it didn't really feel like work, essentially. And creativity was like my escape, especially when because I went through a period of like being depressed and stuff like that too, because I just wanted out. And, but every single time I felt like that, bro, I would just lock in and just create something and put something out, you know? Yeah.
That's fire, bro. That's fire. So why'd you stop doing music videos?
Man, music videos. Music videos. I feel like in a lot of ways I stopped doing music videos essentially because I felt like I wanted to curate the artists that I wanted to really work with more or less rather than taking everybody else. I feel like everybody just kind of hops on music as a wave. I really have a love and a passion for music.
Right.
Right? Substance. Right? A lot of artists don't really talk about substance. Right? And then there's also the business acumen to the other side as well, right? Where they don't really understand the business side. So if I break it down to them and I say, okay, boom, this music video might cost you a budget of like $3,000. They're gonna be like, wait, what? Why? And I'm like, okay, the locations and the talent, and this is the treatment that we have, and this is the team that I need to hire. And so they don't really understand that aspect of it, right? But they have this outlandish vision of what they feel that they want to be able to accomplish. But I'm like, bro, okay, cool, we can do it, but you gotta have the money, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And and that's really it, I would say, for the most part. Why? And I really felt like it just wasn't fulfilling, you know, after a while. And there's also this other piece that I feel like probably a lot of photographers, videographers, and maybe even sound engineers can actually relate to, which is being behind the scenes. You're more than just that. Being behind the camera, you're more than just that.
Right.
Right. And so like I got to a point where I was just like, man, I'm into so many different things. Like, and I don't want to just put myself in a box of just being a videographer, photographer, or whatever the case may be. So I was like, yo,
This is still 16, 17, or
nah, this is afterwards. This is actually after COVID.
Oh, wow.
So I had like I took a hiatus, I think after 2020, right?
Right.
And I took a 2-year hiatus of just like finding myself. That's what I would consider like my spiritual journey, right? And figuring out like, yo, what really fulfills me, like, anymore, like moving forward, right? And my perspective changed on a lot of different things, and I got into like writing poetry again, and
Dope.
you know what I'm saying, all of that. I dabble with music, and I was like, damn, bro, like I don't want to be put in a box no more. And I also decided between 2024 and 2025, I was like, I'm gonna also be in front of the camera now. And so things just changed, bro. You know what I mean? I felt like for the longest, being behind the scenes, people didn't really get a chance to see who Atad was. And so that's when I kind of developed that tag on my Instagram. My tag used to be, who is Atad? And so that was like a question from myself, who am I? And
You
so
recently changed that.
Yeah, I changed it back to me, my actual name.
Yeah.
Right, but that's where that came from. It was really a question that I asked myself.
Wow.
Yeah, self-discovery, bro.
I love that, bro.
Yeah.
I love that, bro. I love that.
Facts.
Yeah, that because it's an evolving, and it's like reclaiming your identity.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm me, you know.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that, bro. Because I'm very big on that, you know. Because in my journey, like I relate to that. Because I used to rap under the name of Hip Hop Duke. Yeah, yeah, and you know what I'm saying? I was still, you know, I was doing my thing, dropping music, fire, stuff still going crazy. But it just got to a point where I was just like, bro, like, I was like, well, number one, I'm bigger than just hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I do a whole lot of other stuff outside of just, you know, hip hop and rap, you know, because there's a lot of different elements to hip hop, but specifically rap. And then I was like, it just got to a point where I just came to this like feeling like, man, my whole life I've been shortening my name for other people's convenience. And I was like, nah, bro, y'all finna y'all gonna say Būnduke. You know, my full name is actually Būnduke.
Yeah.
You know, so we was talking about that yesterday. But growing up, my family, everybody called me Būnduke. You know, so I was like, okay, that's a little bit of an easier transition.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
From
right.
hip hop Duke to Būnduke, you know, the everything's still the vibe still remains intact. Okay, skits just pulled up. Let me see.
Right. We're gonna pause this for now.
Hold on, let me finish that. Let me finish that thought.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna say, give me a sec.
This is a great conversation.
Yeah,
bro.
for real,
Thanks.
bro. So I was shortening my name for other people's convenience, and it was just like, bro, it just became a process of like reclaiming myself, reclaiming my identity, bro. Like tapping back in with my roots, tapping back in and with the South Sudan culture, speaking in my native tongue of Arabic Juba in my music, and just Arabic in general as well. That I grew up speaking, and then even took 4 classes in college. Learning more how to read and write as well, because I only used to know how to speak.
Right.
And so I was just like, man, tapping back in, bro. And like I said, my family called me Būnduke.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, man. So like I'm bringing everybody into the fam now, and I'm welcoming everybody to the village. So I was like, yo, it's your boy Būnduke, man. It's your man Būnduke. So I feel like that was just such an important transition for me, and I'm so happy I did that, bro. Because if I would have went on Rhythm and Flow and been hip hop Duke, man.
Yeah.
And looking back, I'm like, yo, that junk low key kind of corny. Like when I look back, I'm like, nobody ever said nothing. Hey, all y'all who probably thought it in your head and didn't say nothing, man, forget y'all, bro. But now I'm just playing, bro. You know, everybody like it just got to a point where some people would just call me hip hop, yo, hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So it was pretty cool because I embodied that. You know, I embodied the culture.
Nice.
But yeah, man.
Like. But yeah, man. Like it really ties back into the whole aspect of like branding. Like, how do you really want to identify yourself? You know what I mean? Like to your audience.
Major, because Googling hip hop Duke compared to Googling Būnduke is a completely different experience, bro. Like I remember, like I was Googling hip hop Duke. And then it would be like it would be like Ninth Wonder teaching hip hop at Duke University, and I was like, bro, what is this y'all talking about? What up? Nah, you good, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's the pod. You know what I'm saying? The boy Skits Piss just pull it up.
Wow.
You know, I was just talking about you earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah. Nah, we just talking about
A whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. We went from talking about relationships to talking about creative development and our journeys, and then talked about the branding aspect of
your identity and your name.
Yeah, your identity and your name, and you know he was just sharing with me how like he rebranded essentially recently, and then I was just sharing how I rebranded. He knew me back in the hip hop Duke days.
Right.
He the one that he just used to call me hip hop. It was kids.
One day he corrected me. He was like, yo, it's Būnduke. I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean anything by it.
Oh shoot.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You just gotta remind people, but even to this day, I still remind people. I'm like, hey, it's Būnduke, it's Būnduke, because people still just used to saying Duke.
Yep.
You know, which I'm not mad. I don't get mad, but I just you know remind people.
I think because people knew, like you said, people knew you at different times, because people still call me Schizo.
Oh yeah.
Because my rebrand, I used to be Schizo.
Oh, you used to be schizo.
Yeah, like that was my name, Schizo. And then I changed it to like, I was like, man, I gotta like just rebrand myself.
Right.
Skits Pits.
Skits Piss. Copy.
So.
Yeah, I think we all gotta go through that transition, but you also gotta understand your why behind it too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you really don't understand the reason why you're changing it, people gonna be like, yo, so what was that for? You know what I mean? You gotta have that explanation.
Yeah.
And again, it really goes back down to that self-discovery and just being able to evaluate yourself of like where you're at. You know, because like we're all gonna change. You know, and I think that's the journey and the beauty of life sometimes. You know what I mean?
That's true. I agree with that, bro. Because we learn more about ourselves the more we live. So it's like as you learn it more and more, you start to operate a little bit differently. You start realizing, like, hold on, I need to do things like I need to move a different type of way, and then it's that's the awakening. That's the third eye opening up right there.
Yeah.
You looking at that time?
Bro,
you see that?
you see that?
Yo,
an hour, bruh.
Yo, fact.
Because we started off with a freestyle. Well, we actually, he put me in the hot seat. He's like, yo, let's see if you know all the words to the song.
Yeah, hey, it
So
was
he had me rap
crazy.
it to the
It
song,
was
bro.
crazy, yeah. Bro, he knows like 75, 80.
You say you listen to it all the time, right?
Yeah, bro.
Yo,
I've
I've
heard
heard
it
like
like
80% of the lyrics. I was shocked. Like, I was like, wow.
yeah.
That was amazing, bro. That one was amazing. I ain't gonna cap.
I'll be studying lyrics for my music though.
Or
Yeah, bro. Like when I really, really like rock with a song for real, like I'll look at like everything like word for word.
that's real. I respect that. I'll be on that tip too. I ain't
Yep.
gonna lie.
Yep.
You be rapping too?
Man.
Drop the beat,
Yo,
DJ.
Oh man, yo, this is crazy.
That's right. Let's see, we cooked this beat up the other
DJ.
day.
You gotta turn the beat on. Hey, I'm recording. What y'all recording on?
I'm on FL with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I messed around a couple times. I haven't written anything in a minute though. Yeah. I remember it kind of like started off of just like me experimenting. I was like, yo, I just want to make one song. I was like, I just want to make one song and see how it goes. And so yeah.
Look how short it is compared to everything else.
Wait, what's that?
That's the beat.
Oh wow.
It's not letting me scroll all the way to the right.
I was gonna say like, how long is it?
Oh, hold on. First off, let me stop this. Let me
I like your
this.
fit, bro. I said I like your fit, bro. That's tough. No problem.
Yeah, bro, I had to slip out because I had to let him in here.
So you was already using. So you
I've been
already
here
got
like,
somebody to use it.
yeah, I've been here like pretty much all day. I ain't gonna hold you.
And he asked you, he said, "We can use this." And the next day, yo.
Hey, no cap.
It's better to ask for.
I waste no
Yeah,
time.
yeah, better to ask for forgiveness. He ain't waste no time. That's
Yo, I'm outside the spot trying to see.
you got the app, right? You can just
You can bust VA, you said it's cool, the one upstairs. White backdrop.